everyone, welcome back to K Talk, where we talk all the hottest ongoing K dramas. I'm Mel.
And I'm Uma. Hi, guys. Welcome back to this week's episode. This week we are talking about 100 Memories. It's on
Hmm.
Viki. It's 12 episodes. And I believe it finished last week.
Yes.
Okay. 100 Memories. This drama is set in the 1980s. It depicts the friendship between two bus attendants, Young Rae and Jung Hee, and their affectionate first love surrounding J Pill.
100 Memories stars Kim Da-mi, who plays Go Young Rae, Shin Ye
Shin
Shin
Ye-eun, I
Ye-eun,
think, yeah.
who plays So Jung Hee, and Heo Nam-Jun, who plays Han J Pill. Yeah,
Love him.
this show is messy as hell.
It was super
Like,
messy, and I was really looking forward to it because I really like Kim Dami
yeah.
and really excited for it.
Yeah. This is the first time seeing her in a drama, so yeah. But I
Oh,
love Shin Ye-eun. She is
yes.
my girl. And she's been killing it lately too.
She has
So
been. Both actresses actually just had like dramas.
yeah.
Shin Ye-eun more recent in The Murky
She stream.
Stream,
Yeah.
and Kim Dami in Nine Puzzles this year, which,
Yes.
my God, her range is just amazing.
Yeah.
She was completely like a completely different character. I just love her. She can pull off any role.
Yeah.
This drama, the main storyline really is about these two women's relationship. What did you think about like their friendship and how it unfolded?
Um in the beginning I really, really loved their friendship. It was so cute and
Hmm.
real and just when you first see both of them, right, they seem very different, right?
Yes.
Young Ray is seems very innocent, very, you know what I mean, just quirky. And then
Hmm.
you have
Cheerful,
yeah, Jung Hee, who's more of like the cool girl aesthetic, like, you know what I mean.
very
And I
assertive.
assume that she'd probably be like a mean girl, to be honest, when you first see her, right? And she's not.
I was
She's
thinking the same thing.
actually a very like down to earth, just a real girl. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really loved their friendship early on. It was so cute the way they just got together. It was just so organic and natural. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Absolutely, I agree. I really like that scene on the bus. As soon as like the show had started,
yeah,
first of all, the two old men who were giving commentary if Young Ray's can push everybody onto the
yeah,
bus. And right then and there, you see Young Ray for who she is. Like she's just hardworking, and they're
she
like,
is.
oh, she's not gonna be able to fit everybody in there. And then
Yeah,
she does, and she's such a small, petite little thing, but she just rams the people onto those bus. But then she ends up falling off, and the bus leaves her.
yeah,
And then we're introduced to Jung Hee,
yeah,
who helps get the driver's
yeah,
attention and helps Young Ray get back on the bus.
yeah,
And right then and there, the first time that Young Ray sees her, you could just tell she's like enamored with her.
yeah,
She knows that like she's cute and quirky,
yeah,
but this one does look very cool, like you said,
yeah,
very carefree, like
yeah,
very like just super confident, and
yeah,
you could tell she just loved her because she did have that like cool girl
yeah.
aesthetic, like you said. Um, but then right away, like episode 1 and 2, by 3, you could tell like Jung Hee is not a mean girl at all.
She's not. Yeah,
She is equally enamored with
yeah,
Young Ray, and they become like two peas in a pod.
yeah. First of all, Young Ray is like a jack of all trades.
She
This
really
girl has
is.
so many random certificates. She has a CDL lights. Like she really just is interested in so many different things. You know what I mean? So, like you said, I think that's why she was so enamored by her. It's like, wow, like she loves to study new things. She's just into so many
She's
different
doing
things.
hair.
Yeah,
She does like bookkeeping.
yeah,
She really was just like, my God, you could do it all.
yeah,
And then she honestly tells her the truth, and she was like, I have to. I'm like the eldest daughter, and
yeah.
I gotta help my mom and my brothers in school. Like so she's very family oriented,
She is.
and she's just an all around go getter.
Yeah,
Love that for her.
yeah. But yeah, I really enjoyed their relationship in the beginning.
In the beginning, it started off
It was
really
strong.
strong, but we
Yes.
knew something was gonna
Yeah.
happen. So the girls are attending night school together, um, and somehow they get roped into going on this blind date
Yeah.
where we meet our male lead,
Yes.
J
J Pill.
Pill.
First of all, the fact that they try to convince us that Nam-Jun was a high school student. That was a grown ass man. That was a, and I'm so glad. The only reason why he could pull it off was because he was in the uniforms, that the different type of high school uniforms, and it wasn't the regular, the other one, like
Yeah,
the
like not
lovely
the
runner
modern,
high.
not the
Yes,
modern day uniforms.
yes, the
Like
modern day ones. Yeah, because they didn't even give him a bowl cut. Like he literally looked
yes,
like a grown man.
his bangs weren't banging. You know
Yeah,
how they make them,
yeah,
the look, the go-to look to make them look more youthful.
yeah.
He didn't have
He
that.
looked like a grown man.
In fact,
Like
the more characters that you met, he looked older than all of
that's
them.
what I mean.
He even looked older than Young Ray's brother, who's supposed to be older than them.
Exactly.
Young chick.
But how even Sang-chul, he looked young. His bestie, he
Yes.
looked like a high school. I would believe that.
But remember, I think they also tried to kind of get around that by saying he had to repeat a year.
Still, he's still.
He still looked like a grown
I'm
man.
saying he looks like he's 28. So even a year, like, yeah, wouldn't make a difference. He looked
Yeah.
like a grown man. In the beginning, I thought obviously he's attractive.
Mhm.
He was very quiet. It seemed like he had a lot going on, which he did at home. His dad was kind of abusive. So, but you know who I really liked in his family? I actually liked his stepmom.
Yeah.
Because you know how most stepmoms in these dramas, they come off as like mean or evil or whatever, but she was actually so cute to me. She's
really
very
was.
just quirky herself and just so damn cute, and she didn't treat J-Pill any differently than her daughter, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah, you didn't get stepmom vibes from
Yeah,
her
evil
at
stepmom.
all.
Yeah.
My favorite thing was when she just kept low key like shading her husband.
Yeah.
That he's always like so grouchy. But
Yeah.
they have a cute little family
They do.
dynamic happening, and even like his little sister is so adorable. The hardest working child actor
Literally.
in Korea.
I'm like, her again. Like, of course.
No, she's killing it though, because
Yeah.
right now she's also the younger version of Jung So Min in Would You Marry Me?
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she's also having a great year.
She is.
It looks like it's going to be a repeat of last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, their family dynamic is actually really cute, and he has a great relationship with his little sister, even
Yeah.
less his half sister. But so taking it back to the girls and their relationship, they really, really do like each other at this point. There's no tension.
Yeah.
There's no ripples in this friendship. Young Ray has had 2 encounters prior
Yeah.
with J-Pill, but he doesn't remember. Like he saves her at one point when she's
Yeah.
chasing somebody else who tried to skip out on their affair on the bus.
Yeah.
And then the second time was
wasn't the second time Jung Hee was there. Where he was escaping, I think he just got into a fight with people and he ran into this like theater and they were both there and
yes, that was the
yeah.
second time. Oh yeah, when he shook them both. That's the second time.
Yeah.
And then the third time was at the blind date. So now they're at this blind date and he's very neutral. And the girls are just doing this for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Right? Jung Hee's like, it's gonna be fun. Like, why not?
Yeah.
So they go. Nothing really comes of that blind date except for Sang-chul is scared of Jung Hee.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be paired up with her.
Yeah.
Ironically, doesn't get paired up with her.
Can I just say he was such a great comedy relief.
He
like
really
he was
was.
hilarious because he was like, she reminds me of my mother. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's just very feisty and just very,
And
you know what I
was
mean?
like, I thought you liked your mom. He's like, yeah, but I'm scared of her.
Yeah.
Right? He was like, she also beats my dad.
That was hilarious. I died. Yeah.
No, he played his role perfectly.
Yeah.
The blind date's over. Nothing really comes out of it. J-Pill, neutral, not interested in dating.
Yeah.
Doesn't really care for either girl
Yeah.
until the boxing match.
Yeah.
Right? And at this point, even Jung Hee's not really that attracted to him. She was just doing this for fun. She didn't even notice him either. But we find out that during the charity little boxing match that she's had a very like traumatic
life,
past, and her brother used to beat on her. And so when she sees J-Pill get cornered, she kind of blacks out and goes into the ring and starts like yelling
screams
stop.
Yeah.
Right? I think he notices the trauma that she's been through in that moment. Before that, I don't think he ever took notice of her.
Yeah.
Right? So now, all of a sudden, Mr. Neutral kind of likes.
Yeah. And then he follows her out afterwards and he's like, why did you do that? And she said, because I didn't want you to die. And I think the moment she said that, when he's like, damn,
She's got
why?
something going on.
Yeah,
There's something behind,
yeah.
like on the inside. And I felt his attraction wasn't real attraction. I felt like it was more of like somebody that he could relate to, who was going through something difficult or trying to get over something difficult.
No, I actually thought that he really genuinely liked her because, like you said, that's like a deeper type of connection, though, to me. You know what I
I
mean? That when you can see um, something like that in someone, right? And it sparked his curiosity in a way. And then it would be different if he just looked at her like, oh, she's hot. But it
mhm.
wasn't about
It
that,
wasn't about that. He
right?
was never really noticing any
But
of
he
them
was
in
interested.
that
It's like, oh,
sense.
I want to know her story. I want to know more about her, right?
And I feel like as we go on that is really where there wasn't like I'm attracted to this person, I want to date them. It was just like it was more relatable. Like you're right, yes, it wasn't superficial based on her looks,
Yeah.
but I also felt like it came from like a savior place. Like I want to be there for her because he felt stuck in his own
Yeah.
situation. I don't know, it just made me feel like he
And
felt
but
stuck. He
yeah.
wanted to save her because he essentially couldn't like save himself completely just yet,
But also you could look
and
at
he
it as
couldn't
like,
save his mom.
but I also look at it as like maybe he's seen that he would be able to open up to someone like her
Yes.
because she's
He felt
gone.
safe. He
Yeah.
felt safe
You
in
know what
that.
I
Yeah,
mean?
very
Yeah.
relatable,
Yeah.
right? More instead of just like a romantic like
Yeah.
attraction, I felt it was just more like maybe even it could have been a friendship.
Yeah. But he probably said like she would get me.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? She would
Yeah.
understand because I kind of see that in her, right?
Yeah.
So
So the sad thing is though with these girls relationship now is because they're cherishing their newfound friendship.
mhm.
They both like J Pill.
Yeah.
They both give him up for the other's sake.
No, they don't.
In the beginning they do. In the very
I,
beginning they do.
no, I think young Ray pretended. She's always pretended to give, but she never did. She held that man in her heart, which is why when Jung Hee found
The
the
towel.
towel, she knew that she had not. That clearly she still has feelings for this
That
man.
was at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So she realizes that J Pill likes Jung Hee. Jung Hee likes J Pill. They're out together. Remember they have that foursome date where they all go like bike riding and
hmm
and it starts pouring and they
Yeah.
end up in two different like
Yeah.
gazebos, right? Remember at first I didn't realize it was like a daydream, but she kind of says everything that she wanted to say to him.
hmm
We find out that it's, she's just picturing this.
Yeah.
And as she's walking away, she says, you know what? Like, I get it. I can't have you. I'm going to do my best to let you go so that she doesn't resent her friend. That's how I was like, she gave him up
What I'm saying is,
because
like,
she
no,
realized the situation was kind of sticky.
what I'm saying is, she may have said that, but I don't truly believe she gave him up in her heart. She
No,
did
no, no,
not.
no. Not
Yeah.
in her heart. But like, I think in that moment, if Jung Hee and J Pil were to get together,
Mhm.
she wouldn't have resented her friend. She would have just loved him quietly and really tried to erase him from her heart.
But that's the problem in
But
itself.
you can't lock off feelings right
I'm
away,
sorry,
though.
but where are these feelings coming from? You just like him aesthetically. You like the way he looked. This whole first love thing was basically just, I like the way he looks.
She likes the way he looks and the way he
Legit.
carried himself.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So this deep love that there was no deep love
It's
for
like
this
a
man.
crush. You know how
That's
they
what
say the first love is
and
like a crush.
and
And I feel
that's
like you don't need more than that to have a crush on
yes.
somebody. How do you actually genuinely
No.
start liking somebody
Okay,
when you
but
don't
my
know them as a
but
person?
no, but my point is a true friend. Once I see that this man that I have a crush on likes my friend, those feelings are gone because it was just a crush, right? So it's like I would look at
And
him
I
like,
think that's how I think we're saying the same thing. That's how she realized because of my friend, I'm going to accept that he doesn't like me. He likes her. So I'm going to shove these feelings away until they disappear on their own. I'm never going to show it to my friend. That's her letting go. That's her not wanting to be cringy and stay and do treacherous things to her friend. That was her starting to ask herself to get over him. It's not going to disappear right away. She likes this guy. She can't help it.
I'm just saying, once I see the person doesn't like me naturally, and then on
And
top
she
of
did,
that,
and that's why.
they're whatever. But like I said, I don't think that. I'm sorry. I think that she always had it in her heart. I don't care, like, you didn't do anything malicious to your friend or whatever, but the fact that you still kept him in your heart, even years later,
Years
you
later, it's
forever was
because
in his.
no. Years later, it's because Jung Hee was gone, and they became super friends. And now she can harbor her secret crush again. Her friend is not there.
I'm sorry,
She doesn't
even.
have to take a step back.
Yes, you do, because this was your best friend's ex. It
But
doesn't
she
matter.
left town.
Okay, but it doesn't matter. So you're telling me I don't give a fuck. This is my friend's
She
ex
never
now.
thought she was going to see this woman again.
It doesn't matter. This is your friend's ex. Sorry, I'm that type of person.
They are no longer friends.
Yes, you are. It doesn't matter. The point is that you were once with my best friend. I don't care about whether she's in the around
They
or
were
not.
together
Like,
for a long time. I understand what you're saying, right?
because you know why? Because those feelings should have been gone from time. That's my point. Even the fact that, I'm sorry, even if that girl leaves town, why did you get so chummy and friend? It was never friends based. Let's be real on her part.
No.
Let's be real. She stuck around. She did the entire most for this
she
man
liked him.
because exactly. So it was not just
That's obvious.
but it's not just a.
I'm saying though, okay, for Young Ray, right?
Yeah.
She liked this guy. She saw that he didn't like her, and her friend was in the picture, and he liked her friend. She said, I'm going to take a step back. I can never be with this man. She was happy for her friend to be with him. Then her friend finds out on her own, without Young Ray showing her anything, that this was the guy that she secretly liked. She puts two and two together, then breaks up with him for her friend's sake, because she doesn't want to date a guy that her friend secretly liked before she even noticed him.
And she was wrong for that.
So both of them did it for each other.
But the thing is, no, Jung Hee shouldn't, because the guy actually likes you. The guy never liked this girl.
Okay,
she
so
just
how
liked
can
him.
you expect so much from Young Ray, but you're saying Jung Hee should have just dated him, even though she knew her friend is secretly in love with this guy?
Yeah, because he doesn't like you, though. The point of this
But
whole...
she didn't want to hurt her friend.
Okay, but this whole thing is about the guy does not like you. And that's what I'm saying. What Young Ray, what makes her weird is that even the 7 years that she was gone, this man never looked at you like that. The fact that it took even 7 years for him to even look at you like that, and he only started looking at you like because his stepmom kept saying, oh, you better get her before someone else. So even that wasn't real to me on his part.
That definitely was not real. And he also only conveniently liked her, not only because of the mom, but because what's his name, Jung-yeon, her brother's best friend, expressed interest in her, and so did his coworker.
Exactly.
That's when this man woke up.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I was like, I'm
sorry
that.
I'm sorry, Young Ray, I'm sorry, but you've been begging for a man for 7 years that was not attracted to you, and that's what makes it freaking weird. Like I said,
yeah, she was hanging off
once
of him.
I see the point of it is, like, once I see that he chose my friend even from the beginning, that means, okay, this man is not attracted to me. He doesn't like me. So therefore, that's when the crush should die immediately, because he doesn't want me. So why am I still crushing over a man?
That is personal. I would personally have the ick. I myself, if I liked a guy and he liked my friend, and my friend is no longer around, I simply could not continue harboring feelings for this man because I was never his first choice.
Exactly.
That is an ick. That is a personal ick. But Young Ray did nothing wrong here.
Yes, she did.
Okay,
yes,
we're never going to agree.
Because like you said, she should have felt the same way you just said. What you just said, she should have felt like that. That I was never this man's type, clearly. I was not his first choice. So once he chose my friend, that should have been a clear cut. I'm not going to look at him no more like that, because clearly he doesn't look at me like that.
But again,
right?
it's a personal preference, and Young Ray and you and
so don't say she didn't do nothing wrong. Yes,
same.
she's a beg. She's a beg. I'm sorry.
Absolutely,
she is a beg because you're chasing a man for 7 years. I'm sorry. It doesn't take a man, even now with a friend out of the picture, it still took him 7 years to look at you like that. I'm sorry. And mind you, he also said, I thought about that. You were always there. He picked her because she was cracking drinks open for this man. Like, she was doing the most. I'm sorry.
Listen, like that confession on the beach was so not grand. It was not. All I heard was, you were always there for me. It was me.
Exactly.
You have been of service to me. Exactly. At my lowest point, you were my shoulder. I didn't hear in that confession, I can't live without you because
Yeah.
of something that's specifically just her.
And
You
also,
know what I
the
mean?
funny part is,
I think about you. I dream about you. I want to take care. Like nothing. It was just me, 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 me. Because it has been. And I feel like deep down, now that we're just in the thick of it, let's go.
yeah,
I feel like deep down. No,
yeah,
seriously. I was like, oh, we'll do this in installments, but
yeah,
let's put it out there. This is the most important relationship.
yeah,
I also feel like what do you call it? When the 7 years that they were so called friends, I think he knew she liked him. I think he's been keeping her
100%.
just because she
Yeah,
made his life easier.
yep,
This whole, my feelings finally,
yeah,
I've noticed them because other men are interested in you. I think deep down he always,
he
I think
did.
7 years he knew because everybody was questioning what is the dynamic of this.
Exactly.
It's not clear cut like platonic. Something is,
But she's
you know,
always
it's
there.
very
Yeah,
murky here.
yeah,
She's always there, and he's also, it takes two to,
yeah.
right? He's also showing her, and leading her on. He's
He
showing
is, yeah,
her a little bit extra consideration, like maybe behaving like a boyfriend, but
yeah.
not wanting to put a label on it,
Exactly,
right? I felt
exactly.
like he was too busy trying to become a doctor, and he was just like, but I like her. She makes my life easier, and maybe he did feel something, but I really don't think it was super romantic like how they tried to
It
portray
wasn't.
it by the end. I think this entire show could have been a little bit more impactful if he ended up with none of them.
To be honest, that's what I wanted to happen. That remember when Jung Hee and Young Rae were sitting at that bench, and Jung Hee put on the sneakers that he got for her, and she was like,
Oh, that was her declaring war,
yeah,
by the way.
she was like, I'm putting these shoes on, and I don't plan on taking them off.
From this day on,
Yeah.
it was like, heads up, I'm about
At
to go
that
get my
point,
man.
I felt like that conversation should have ended was, you know what? We both need to step away from this man. Let's just drop him and save our friendship because our friendship is so much more important than this guy. And the fact that they didn't do that, and it was just like, it was stupid to me, to be
I
honest.
agree. They didn't have that naive point of view of their friendship where they were secretly, I believe, not to go
Mhm.
back to it, but I believe they gave him up in the past for each other. I think once they grew up, they realized if our friendship is strong, I know what you're going to say. If our friendship is strong, we could just give each other the heads up, woman to woman, because this is the first time that I felt like Jung Hee was a little calculating in the sense of she knew the past 7 years this girl has been still deeply
Working
in love
her
with
ass
this
off.
man, right?
Yeah.
Deeply in love with him. So for her to ask for help as if she didn't know
Yeah.
back then and now
Oh, no, that was,
she
yeah.
had feelings. That was the first time that I
Yeah.
felt like, ooh, okay, Jung Hee, you're being a little calculating here because you really want this man. I don't know how this friendship is gonna last, right? And then when finally she expected her to lie like she did back in the day and say, sure, I'll help you. But now this is Young Ray stepping up and saying,
Yeah.
I can't do that. Back then I liked him. I like him now. Cannot help you in this endeavor. And she was like, great. Now it's all up to, and it's very cocky and very arrogant
Yeah.
of Jung Hee to be like, I guess it's just, whoever's in his heart. And the
Yeah.
way her body language, the way she said that, she believed 100% that he was going to pick her.
She did. And like you said, when you just said, we both gave up, you can't give up someone that never wanted you. I'm sorry. I will always say you cannot. Jung Hee,
You're
when
right.
she had that little scene with her in the rain, she said, I gave him up and I shouldn't have, and that is true. She gave him
did
up.
actually
But
give
that
him
girl
up.
didn't give up no one because he didn't want you, girl.
I
So
didn't
that's
mean
not giving
give
up
in
anything.
that sense. I think she felt like I'm not going to resent my friend,
Yeah.
and I'm going to work on these feelings. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, so
No, and that's
her
how
telling herself like,
and you know what was
I'm not going to confess
Yeah.
to him, was aware of
Yeah.
letting her friend have the floor, who he rightfully liked. I think she respectfully did step back.
And to be
I
honest,
give her points for that.
What do you mean points? Because
Point,
even
no,
because
confessing.
even because
No,
even,
she
because,
could have confessed.
no.
She could have told her friend and willfully get in front of her friend and make her friend actively feel sorry for her, and she didn't do that. That's respectable.
But what is that gonna do? The man doesn't want you.
I know
at the
she
end of the
already
day.
established the man did not want
Yeah.
her. We get that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying though, she didn't confess and she didn't tell her friend, which was showing.
Yeah, I'll give her that. Yeah,
That's what I mean.
I will
by
give it that because at the end of the day, I'm glad that she didn't because it would be
it would have
useless.
been awkward
And it'd be
useless. He don't even
useless.
like you.
He don't even like
Why
you.
make your friend
Yeah.
feel bad? That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
Yeah.
Gave him up. When I say she gave him up, she didn't tell her friend, so
Yeah.
her friend would gracefully also hold back from this
Yeah.
man. She actually let her friend really try. It just sucks
Yeah.
her friend found out on her own.
And you know what I found?
and gave him up.
You know what I found interesting too? That young Ray, even 7 years in, and she did the absolute most from this man. Did you notice that she did not tell him that she was back in town when she
Exactly.
first came in? You see what I mean? So even
She was reluctant to tell him.
exactly.
And the
So
one time that she did, oh my God,
yeah,
there was an emergency at the hospital. You
but
could have tried harder if you really
yeah.
wanted to. But she's scared though.
But what does that tell you right there?
Because she knows he's going to pick her.
But that's what I'm saying. So leave him alone. Leave him alone then. If I feel any type of way that you, even in the 7 years that you didn't build anything with the
My
man,
God,
it's like,
this show is messy.
like how the hell are you still not comfortable in your place with this man 7 years in, because you know he genuinely still doesn't like you like that.
I know.
You know what I mean?
I could not
Like-
hang around and become a best friend to a man that I genuinely had feelings for.
Yeah.
And that makes me sad for young Ray. It really
Yeah.
does.
That if I have to wear a man down, literally
I'm not
wear him down
accepting.
and do the absolute most for him just for him to like me or whatever.
little bit?
Like, because let's be real, Junkie never had to do all that. And he liked her from the
did.
jump.
He did.
She never had
He's
to
like,
do
I'm
any of
going to
that.
save you.
Yeah.
It was a little bit more real.
Yeah. And that's what I mean, where he started to like young Ray
That's
because
why
of
I didn't believe
everything
in
that
that.
she did for him. Like,
That's why I didn't believe in their relationship.
I
and
did not
would've
believe in it at
preferred
all.
If
Yeah.
nobody got with anybody and these girls just worked through their relationship and
I
kept
wish they
their
did that. Yeah.
friendship intact, okay? Like,
I wish they did that too, to be honest. But can we talk about the other guys? There were so many guys for Young Ray and Jung Hee, if you think
Mhm.
about it, that we thought, you know.
yeah.
So Young Shik's bestie,
Mm-hmm. Jung
like,
Yun.
yeah, liked Young Ray.
Yeah.
And then we have Young Ray's brother,
Mm-hmm. Young Shik,
yeah, with,
who liked Jung Hee.
yeah.
From
I-
early on, both of
Yes,
them.
and I really thought towards the end, especially when Jung Hee, when she kind of felt like everyone was kind of ostracizing her and she felt alone, she kept showing up at his job. And I
Mhm.
really thought that it was going somewhere because they were getting comfortable, they were, you know,
Mhm.
and then for it to not go anywhere, I was just like, okay, what was the point of all of this?
I think it was the beginnings, right?
Yeah.
Like he's always liked her, and I don't
Yeah.
think he could tell her until literally
Yeah.
the J pill door was like shut
Yeah.
in her face.
Yeah.
She slowly has to mourn
Yeah.
that relationship of what could have been,
Yeah.
get over him, be happy for her friend,
hmm
and then that's why the wedding scene at the end, we could see that, like, okay, there
Still,
might be
yeah,
something.
maybe.
There
Yeah.
might be something. But I like the fact that every time she went to his job
Yeah.
and she was like, if something happens with me and your sister, like, you're obviously going to take her side. He was like, yeah. He goes, but I will hear you out, though.
Yeah.
Because he knew what was going to happen. His
Yeah.
friend pretty much gave him a heads up. He was like, this is the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Like, me and you might get into it. Because
Yeah.
imagine if he finds out he liked his sister. He was like, potentially me and you could fall out.
Yeah.
Me and J-Pill are going to fall out because we like the same woman now.
And that's also why J Pill finally stood up, because he went to him man to man and said, hey, if you're not interested in this girl, let her go.
He said, pick a damn lane.
Yeah.
And do it quick because I'm about to, like, floor it.
And that's what I hate about certain K-dramas, when the guy only steps up when another man shows blatant interest in the girl. It's like all of a sudden,
That's why I don't believe
Yeah.
that attraction. I don't believe in romances. You needed the threat of somebody taking this person out of your life to make you realize, like, you know, their value and what
That's
they
what I
brought
mean.
to your life. I'm sorry. If you can't clock that on your own,
first of all, if you really, it shouldn't have been taken 7 years to clock that, or even your stepmom.
That's why I don't believe it.
Exactly. He liked her for exactly what she was. She literally served him. She literally was there at every turn. And you can tell, even the way that she literally integrated herself in his entire life with the father, with the stepmom, even his sister. She became so, you know what I mean?
She had no choice. He friend zoned her so hard that she said, I'd rather stay in this zone than not be in your life daily. Like, she did herself a disservice.
Honestly.
I personally...
And you know what the crazy thing is? Like, you mean to tell me in the 7 years, Young Ray, you literally didn't date nobody. He didn't date, like, it's just
I find
weird.
it hard to believe
Yeah.
that two healthy, single,
Yeah.
attractive people are circling each other for
Yeah.
7 years, like...
Didn't date
And
anybody
you
else.
weren't, like, childhood friends. Like,
Exactly.
this is not, you know?
Yeah.
You had something for him at one point, there's nothing,
And
that means there was zero tension.
and that's what I mean.
Zero.
7 years is a long time.
It's a
I
long
swear
time.
to God, after the first year, after we got her out of the picture now, Jung-hee's
I
gone.
would have made my move.
Exactly. After the first year. That's
I
all I'm
would have
giving
made
you.
my
Yeah.
move. End of story.
And if he
And-
said anything like, "Oh, I'm not into you like that," it would have been a wrap.
Goodbye.
Yeah.
Exactly. Your friend's not here. You don't have to actually feel
But like
bad.
you
He literally
said,
fully
she
rejected
was
you.
okay with the little crumbs of friendship than not being in his life
And
at all.
she integrated herself so much into his life
Yeah.
that he literally thought he can't live without her support, which
Yeah.
is true. He
Yeah.
mistook that for love. That's why I said I don't believe that little grand speech and that kiss. Like I wasn't moved by it, and I'm like, I don't.
And I'm surprised she was moved by it, but that's all she's been waiting to hear.
She's loved
Yeah.
him her whole life at this point.
Yeah.
So good for you. But what I was gonna say earlier was, I personally really would have enjoyed if she gave her brother's friend a chance. That man adored her.
Oh my God, that man
For who she was.
Yeah.
Not for anything that
Literally.
she did.
Yeah.
He had a thing for her from when she was like, when the show starts and she, she's working
Yeah.
at the bus depot or whatever, and he called her ugly. That was his nickname
Yeah.
for her. Like, you could tell he was smitten with her.
Not just him. I feel like even Sang-chul really genuinely liked her.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, she's quirky. He liked her as a person. Like that. He's like, that's my type. You know what I mean? So it's like all these men that genuinely liked her for her, and she was
didn't
just
see
like,
none of them.
Yeah.
She saw none of them. It was just J-Pill all the way.
Yeah.
And I was like, your brother's bestie would have treated you like a queen.
Literally.
He adored her.
And he's also
He was gone for 7 years, came back, still
Yeah.
thinking about her. Ran to the mom's restaurant.
Literally. Yeah.
Oh, he missed the cooking. No.
Yeah.
He really wanted to see her. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like that could have been cute.
Even Sang-chul saying she was my first love. Even that, you're out of pocket, J-Pill. That's your bestie's first love. And you're over here, you know what I mean? You don't care. Like,
They don't give it.
They don't.
They didn't give a shit at all. In the beginning, they're like, well, which one do you like? Well, I like her. Do you
Yeah.
mind? Like, they didn't really care. But since we're talking about Sang-chul, he was such a delight. In the beginning, like you said, he was great, like comedic relief.
He was.
But at the end, how surprising was that relationship that he developed with Bong-hoon's daughter and ended up liking Bong-hoon.
No, her name was
Isn't it Bong-hoon?
Young Bun.
Young Bun?
I think it was something Bun. It was something Bun.
I think
Young Bun. I think.
Jungboon.
Yeah.
Sorry, what did I
Jungboon.
say?
You said something else.
Whatever. Anyways, yeah, you're right. Jungboon?
Yeah.
Yes. Her daughter.
Yeah.
What was the daughter's name? Now I'm confused.
Suji.
Suji?
Sujin.
Sujin.
Yeah.
Yes. Sujin. I thought it was really cute how like Sang-chul.
No, but I just loved in all of them together. They really built this cute little family where all of them, right, like just supported each other. Sang-chul was helping out with Sujin. It was like they were literally a family.
They
you know
really
what I mean?
were. You know that first scene where it kind of like time jumps and we see them in the modern time, like towards the second half of the show, how they all do their part to set up breakfast.
Yeah.
And they're sitting all on like, that long table. That was so
It was so-
heartwarming to
yeah.
see. I like that her mom was like always kind of cranky. She's like, I already have enough mouths to feed, but you could tell every single person
Was
is
always welcome. Yeah.
She's everyone's mom. You know what I mean?
loved her and Man-uk's relationship too. They were so cute because they're like polar opposites.
They
Because
really
Man-suk
are.
is this quirky whatever, and she's
She
like,
talks a lot. This
yeah.
one is a woman of very few
Yeah.
words, and she's just like, that's my friend though.
yeah. And she was like, when the father got sick, she was like, I know she hasn't eaten a thing. I
I'm
have to
gonna go
take her.
feed- If
Yeah,
I have to
that was
force
so
her down
sweet.
her throat. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And I loved how like the even the kids,
yeah.
how Sari was like into what was his name?
Young Bae.
Young Bae?
Yeah,
Young Min's sister. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Young Bae. And how when they grew up, they still kind of low key like each other
Yeah.
too. How hilarious was though when she liked his brother and
Yeah.
he tied the laces together?
Yeah. Oh
broke
my
this man's
God.
arm.
Yeah.
But he was so sad though. The next
He
day he was putting on his
was,
shoes and everything. But it was just I see the rest of the cast really brought this show home for me because
And that's what I loved about this show. The few things that I really loved about the show was the friendships. Everyone's bestie was wonderful. Everyone had a
Yes.
great bestie. Like from Young Shik to their relationship. The girls were amazing too in the beginning, and even
J-Pill and
yeah,
Central. Like,
that's what I mean. Like they all. What I didn't like though was, did you notice when Jung Hee came back? The other two girls, they were acting like they didn't really know her or something. I did not feel the love coming from them, and I didn't like that.
Really? I thought they
I
were like so happy and
no,
stunned to see her.
yeah, but they wasn't. Yeah, it just seemed they seemed kind of very like distant from her.
You know
Not
what? Now that you mention it, though, am I
no one jumped
misremembering
on
this?
her. No one hugged her. No one. It was just weird.
I
Like,
think even like Hosuk,
mhm.
when she first comes into the restaurant and the gift baskets are delivered and
Yeah,
they're wondering who it's from,
yeah,
it's just the mom and Hosuk. Then
yeah.
she walks in. The mom, yeah, maybe. The girl looks the same. It's just only been 7 years. How did the mom and Hosuk not recognize her right
Yeah,
off the bat?
that's weird. And then when she did tell her, the mom had a stronger reaction to her than Hosuk
Then
did,
her
which is
homegirl.
weird. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt the same vibe with the other girl as
But
well. Like
I felt like, and now I'm gonna butcher her name again.
Jungboon,
Boon.
Boon.
Jungboon.
Yeah,
Jungboon?
Jungboon.
Jungboon. Yes. Sorry. Jungboon and Hosuk were closer, like
Yeah, how they were.
Young
Yeah.
Rae and Jung-hee were. So, but you still recognize her though.
And
That
it's
was a
not
little
that,
that was
but
a little
then they all be
far-fetched.
both group of girls became friends though.
Exactly. It was a
Like,
foursome at
yeah,
that point,
it
right?
was.
So that when Jung-hee left, these three actually,
Yeah,
moved on with everyone. And I love the fact that they kept the baby.
yeah,
And now she was like everyone's daughter.
literally.
They all loved her.
Can we talk about how much of a predator Mr. Kim was? Like, no, seriously,
He was so sleazy,
he was
using the same line on
on all of
every
them.
single girl.
Yeah. And I'm like, these girls are so innocent, but like, what was the age thing? Because difference between them.
He seemed like a good 8 to 10 years older than them.
Yeah.
That's how
And
I
that's why I
feel.
said he was giving
That's
predator
how I
vibes.
feel.
Yeah.
And
Because he was preying on just these girls. You know what I mean?
it
Like,
was his little
yeah.
work pool. It was his little dating pool. He
Yeah,
didn't care.
literally.
What he literally, whoever was the attendant on the bus that day, he was throwing the same line.
Yeah,
That is wild.
it was. And it worked for all of them, but this one got knocked out.
I know.
you
I'm glad he found himself though and realized
Yeah.
you can't just jump back into her life. The one day he tried to watch his daughter, the
She
kid goes missing.
Yeah.
At least he found himself and took himself out of the equation.
She's better than me because even when he did all the calculations of the birthday, I'd be like, nope, still not your daughter. Someone
when he said, were you with somebody else? I know you're not that kind
I'm
of
like,
girl.
I was.
I'm like, actually, I was.
I am that
Yep,
girl.
yep.
Yeah.
I was
Literally.
out here, just I had a whole roster.
Yeah.
I don't even know who the dad is.
Yeah.
That's how much I was playing around, just like you were sleeping with a bunch of
Exactly.
different people.
Exactly.
I know, but I think she was emotional, and it caught her off guard, and
Yeah.
she really genuinely started to like this man. That's the sad thing.
And I'm glad that he honestly bowed out
Mhm.
gracefully and was like,
Goodbye.
and he just told Sancho, just take care of them,
Seriously, because how is the uncle
Yeah.
scraping his knee,
Yeah.
pale as a ghost, like
Yeah.
running like crazy to find your daughter?
Yeah.
There was no connection. She's a stranger to you.
Like,
He was just pushing it because I think he's so sleazy. He just could not handle that 7 years later,
Yeah.
she still hated his guts.
Literally.
And she still kept telling him, beat it.
And he probably thought that, oh, because I had her once.
I can do it again.
Yeah.
And it became a challenge. I don't
Yeah.
even think he still liked her.
He
It
didn't,
was just
yeah.
a challenge of like, she said no.
Literally. I don't know.
He was sleazy. Goodbye. Good riddance. Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
But like I said,
for
I
you.
loved all the male characters. They were all stand up good men. You know what I mean?
They
Like,
really were. Do we want to talk about the ones that were shitty?
yeah, Junki's weird brother. Like, so her parents passed away in an accident when they were very young.
Mhm.
I guess they had to fend for themselves, kind of thing. She always had to work, and he was basically like a loser.
He was a loser. He had a gambling addiction. Used
Yeah.
all of their life insurance money, gambled it away, and I think he used to beat on his sister to take her paychecks as well.
No, but he also said she ran off with the life insurance of their parents.
Mm-mm,
Didn't
that was
she?
a lie. She just ran off with a little bit of
Oh,
money.
okay.
Maybe her last two paychecks or something, because it didn't seem like she wanted anything. He was abusing her and keeping
Yeah.
her around because this girl's
The
trying to work and
work,
make
yeah.
money, and he didn't.
Basically, she was taking care of him.
Basically.
Yeah.
So there's that. I know we're supposed to have a villain.
Yeah.
The whole like horrible manager who was
Mr. No,
embezzling,
yeah.
Mr. No, like I was like, we could do without him. Like,
Yeah.
I understand he was pivotal to the story when he was attacking Jung Rae, and Jung Hee had to stab him.
And that's what I don't understand. He's actually upset as if he forgot what he
He
was
was
doing.
wrong.
Yeah,
He was stealing money, blaming the girls, getting them fired,
yeah,
literally
eh,
effing up their livelihood, and attacking Jung-wei for standing up
yeah,
for their human rights. And there was headquarters saw that there was like a shortage. The books
yeah.
weren't like, matching up. And he was like, you know what? I don't like this bitch
Girl, I'm gonna blame
anyways.
it on her.
So
Yeah,
I'm gonna blame it on her. So he tries to attack her that night, tries to make
yeah,
her like falsely like confess to doing something and make her eat the
yeah,
fact that, oh, she's been stealing money. But she's like, no, she stood on business, kept denying it.
yeah,
He attacks her physically, and that's why Jung-hee has to leave, because she stabs him.
yeah. But he's acting like he forgot that he was attacking Young Ray.
And I
Like,
feel like, yes, I know we needed this to move the plot along,
yeah,
but realistically, I don't think she should have ran off, because they could have easily called the police and be like, it was self-defense. He was
literally,
attacking.
yeah,
Like, I felt like, yes, I know we need this for the plot
yeah.
again, but now that we know we
But
need
that's
this for
what I
the
mean.
plot,
That's what I mean. Even with that, it's like, I'm sorry. I feel like
I know what you're gonna say.
Young Ray was too eager to get her out of here, and I feel like a part of her was she had that in the back of her mind because she's too smart to know that they could have said it was self defense. She could have said this man was about to kill me. It's 2 against 1.
So
She
I
she
knew you were gonna say this.
she could have said that, like, this man was physically attacking me and I was about to die. She even said he was choking me, and she came in and
And it's 2 against 1.
Yeah.
Two witness testimony.
Exactly.
2 witnesses against 1. I get that. So you think deep down, when that happened and everybody was scared and shook, that in that moment, Young Ray saying "run, leave," you think subconsciously she wanted
get her out of the picture. Yes, I do.
Really?
Because of the way that she dies for this man, I wouldn't put that
But
past
she
her,
had
to be
already made
honest.
peace.
No, she did not. I'm telling you, there was no peace made.
We're never gonna let this go.
This girl had this man in her heart, forever in his heart, and I don't think that she was gonna stop until she got him. To be honest.
Okay, I knew you were gonna take that stance, but I have to disagree.
No.
Respectfully, I have to disagree. I feel like she genuinely was scared for her friend. And remember, these are young girls.
No, but and also
these are young girls. So I think it was fear that made her, tell her to run.
And also, guess what she did though? After she told her to run, she went to him and said,
she covered for her friend.
No, and she said to him, she blackmailed him. She's like,
Yes.
if you go to the police, why couldn't she do that with young Jung Hee there? Could have did the same thing.
I think she found all of that after the stabbing while he was in the hospital. She was ransacking his office, trying to find proof that she's not the one who was stealing and he is.
Yeah.
So once she uncovered one set of books, she really saw how deep the embezzling was going, and he's been stealing for the company for the past decade, right?
Yeah.
All of that information she used to blackmail him came afterwards. That's why I say in that moment when the stabbing happened and they both run out of the office, I think it was fear that literally she could go to prison for attempted murder.
I would believe that if she actually did kill him. Like, say she stabbed him in his neck and he actually died, then yes. But the fact that she stabbed him in his shoulder, it wasn't life-threatening. Like, they could have fought it. Like, it was not, you know what I mean? Like, it was not that severe. And it would be 2 against 1.
I would,
like,
I still want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because I don't know. There's feel like they were young and scared, it was something and all about that blood, and
it was something about her continues to say, "Just run, you gotta run." I don't know. She was just saying that a little too much for me. It's like, girl, why you want her gone? Huh? Yeah.
She wanted J-Phil all to herself. She's like, Miss Ma'am, you gotta get out of here.
But it still took you 7 years.
I know. Yeah. That's why she wasn't a go-getter. That's why I said I don't think she was that calculating. Yeah. The fact that it took her 7 years and she couldn't make a move on this man.
What did you think of the whole Miss Korea thing? When I seen them, when they Young Ray said, "I'm gonna do," I was like, is she destiny swapping with Jung Hee?
First of all, she got her man.
Yeah. And then now,
and the funny thing is, I don't eat the man. I think she could swallow that. She was like, maybe level 5.
She did say
angry,
that. Yeah.
But straight up, when she said her dream of childhood being Miss Korea, she said, "Oh no, I think that's what made her snap."
That's what I mean.
She said, "Not on my watch. You took my man. Now you want my dream as well." First of all, I didn't care for all that entire storyline.
Yeah.
I think the show could have been done at 10 episodes.
It could have.
We did not need that. Like, I literally found myself like all this stupid little training and the step dance, and it was so. I literally had to fast forward through that. I'm like, this is boring.
So
this is not furthering the story at all. Other than the fact that she was just shook to her core that this girl now also wants to be Miss Korea after she ended up with her dream man. That was interesting.
And I was happy at least Jung Hee got that. Because I was like, if
I
they
know.
give it
She
to,
needs something.
I was like, if they give it to Young Ray, I'm gonna be so mad.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
First of all, I find it unbelievable that these two regular girls who were never in the pageantry
Yeah.
world all of a sudden got tapped by two rival hairdressers.
Yeah.
That was so far fetched to me.
It was.
I'm like, the story did not need that at all.
And they built it all up just for the whole stabbing scene. Literally, that was when they could have figured out a different way.
Again.
You know what I mean?
You know, maybe at this point I was already annoyed, so that stabbing scene really didn't, touch me the way it was supposed to, because you could have pushed his arm away. You could have kicked him. You could have grabbed him by his hair, come up from behind. You did not need to block that knife with your own body.
And usually when people
so dramatic.
And usually when people do that, it's usually when someone's getting shot, not stabbed. I don't know why.
I am
weird.
scared of a knife. If somebody's trying to stab you right now, I'm gonna tackle that person.
Exactly.
But I'm not putting my kidney in front of that knife. Like, it's not happening.
But you know why she did that?
Because she felt sad that she took her man?
Yes. Yeah. It's it's like, girl, I took your man. At least, you know what I mean?
That man was not.
It was her guilt. It was her guilt.
It was her guilt because this one was so dramatic in the rain. I left because of you. You made me leave all the friends and family. No, ma'am. She told you to leave because she was scared, but you also ran. You were scared your damn self. You could have stayed. You could have called the police. That was a cop out.
No, I'm sorry.
Her mom, her fake mom, before. First, I have so much to say about that woman.
Even that
but anyways,
yeah.
no, I have so much to say about that woman. But please remind me. I don't want to forget about her. But she blocked that knife with her body because she was feeling guilty. She felt she was pitying her friend. She believed all the nonsense that she was saying to her in the rain, which is absolutely not true. That was her just...
No, but she did give up her man for her. What the hell? She did give up the man for her.
That part was true, but you have to leave town, though.
Well, like you said...
If she had never left town, none of them would be with him.
You know what's funny, too? I feel like when Jung-hee came back, has she just sat down with J-Pill, explained, first of all, why she broke up with him, and then explained to him why she left for 7 years, I feel like he would have gave her another chance. I feel like the reason why he didn't was he was so resentful of just how she handled everything.
Yeah, because
you know
she told him straight up, I just don't have feelings for you. I'm fickle. I'm impulsive. I'm this. I'm that. Whatever. She was trying to not tell
Even
him
when
the
she
truth.
came back, he asked her again, and she still said that.
I don't even remember.
That's what I mean.
And playing it off.
And I feel like him asking her these questions again, I think that was his way of just tell me the truth so maybe we can start over. You know what I mean?
And I feel like he also kind of settled for Young Ray because she's easier to read.
Yeah, exactly.
She's so transparent. Where this one, he doesn't know. He's on edge.
Literally.
Right?
Even though it's hot to him at the same time.
It is, but he's scared.
Yeah.
He's scared.
But like I said, if there was just a little bit more communication, if she just told him what happened, that I didn't just pick up and run away for 7 years, this is what happened, I feel like he would understand. And I think he would be open to giving her different...
Do we genuinely think in those 7 years that Young Ray didn't tell him the real reason why she skipped town?
No, I don't think she did.
You don't think anybody knew?
No.
About the manager and the stabbing?
No. I think she kept that to herself because remember, it's a crime at the end of the day. Why would she really talk about that?
Yeah, but these are your friends, though. These are your people.
I don't think because I think he would have mentioned it. I heard what
she broke up with him before she had to skip out.
No, I'm saying when she came back.
Yeah.
If he didn't mention, I heard what happened, why you had to leave, no mention of it. So I don't think he knew. You know what I mean? So, like I said, if there was just a little bit of communication, a lot of things would have just been easier, even between the friends, as far as just saying, hey, I really like this guy from the beginning. You know what I mean? I'm sorry that you do, but he likes me. You know what I mean? There could have been other ways. You know what I mean? There could have been just a little bit of communication.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know you don't believe the whole, he didn't like her. You're like, she should have just been with the one that he liked from the get-go. And they made it a little bit more complicated than they needed to be.
Yeah.
But somehow their friendship survives.
It does.
She survives the stabbing. That did not need to happen. How dumb was it when her crazy mother tried to kill Mr. No and
they failed.
And they failed miserably.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that the building didn't have security? He just had to put on a little disguise and...
This is Miss Korea, right? That's what I'm saying. How did he just walk up in there?
Nobody, he didn't even pretend to be either way. I know.
A lot of plot holes.
We're being a little bit too realistic about it. It needed to happen, and it did. But I'm sorry, again, like, yeah, she did use her body because she felt
Yeah.
like maybe she started to believe what she had said to her,
Yeah.
like, oh, you basically ran me out of town and I was
Yeah.
lonely.
And to be honest, I did feel so sorry for Junkie because, like she said, it's like I literally have no one. Like you now you took the man. You have your family support system. It's like I literally don't have anything. You know what I mean? Like she didn't, and I really felt for her. Like
I know she
um,
really was lonely.
quiet as
Um,
kept. I'm sorry. I think that Junkie was a way better friend than Young Ray. I think Young Ray got away with a lot of things because she looked innocent, seemed innocent, but I don't
I
think
was
she.
like very passive.
Yeah, I don't think she was completely innocent the way they were trying to portray her.
I
Because
think she meant
because
well.
if she was no, like I said, I don't care if you love this girl as you say you loved her. It would have been hard for you to literally get this man out of your heart.
No,
Like I'm
actually,
sorry,
they're both equal in the sense because
no,
you know what? When they came back 7 years later, they both looked at each other and said, you know what? F this friendship, personal happiness with this man above everything else. So they were
yeah,
equal in that.
no.
So
Then I'm
nobody is
no, no.
better than anybody else.
I'm talking about because the only reason why Junkie got to that point is because she's seen clearly this girl didn't do what I did for her. Like she can't leave this man alone. But this man actually genuinely liked me and I stepped away from him. But you're telling me this girl can't step away from him for me and he
She
genuinely liked me? Like, you
no,
know?
because you weren't around for 7 years.
That's what I'm saying. You're plotting on him though. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. She's not innocent. Her friend got out of the picture and that was her mission. I'm going to get this man.
So you mean to tell me she had to give up J-Pill even though Jung Hee might have never come back?
Off me personally,
I know we said that. We personally could not
personally,
pursue a
yeah, I
man
could not
that did
pursue a
not
man
like me.
first does not like me and was with my friend. Even if my friend is no longer here, he was once with my friend. I'm sorry. I
felt like Jung Ray just felt like, you know what, my life is not going to change. I'm always going to live in the same situation, in the same place with these same people. And Jung Hee's not around anymore.
yeah, but she went out of her way to get so close to this man, like really deeply close. Because they could have been like, oh, we live in the same city. Whenever I see you, hi, bye, type of thing. But she made it a point because before Jung Hee left, they weren't buddy buddy like that. Let's be real. They built it after Jung Hee left. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Before Jung Hee left, it was literally he was dating her. That was just her boyfriend. They weren't close. So you made it a point to when she left to get super close with him. You know what I mean?
I don't think that can be helped.
Yes, it could. Like I said, you're my girl's ex. I'm not. If I see you in the streets, I'll say hi to you, but it won't get any deeper than that. You know what I mean? Personally, that's the type of girl I
know,
am.
but personally,
you
I'm
know?
just like, listen, we didn't know if this girl was gonna come back. I don't find any fault with what Jung Ray did. Like, yes, you stuck around for 7 years trying to be his friend. You were friend zoned. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
she didn't do any better either. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
she didn't.
So both girls, honestly, just respectfully went after what it is that they wanted, and one person ended up getting him, and
Yeah.
the other one didn't. Glad that their friendship stayed intact and it didn't break them through and through.
Do you
know
think
what
that
I mean?
okay?
I think Jung Hee's a little bit more resilient, to be honest. She won Miss Korea. She
Yeah.
did get it, and now she gets to have the community
Yeah.
and the people that she's always loved.
Yeah.
So I think it's okay.
Do you think had she not stepped in for her when she got stabbed, where do you think their friendship would have been? Say she just won Miss Korea, no stabbing happened. Do you think the relationship would have went back? I don't think it would have.
It wouldn't have, because
Yeah.
after she got stabbed, this one also felt bad because
Yeah.
of the crash out that she had the previous
Yeah.
night with her friend and the mean things that she did say.
Yeah.
Some of it was true,
True,
but
yeah.
the other, she lashed out basically because her mom had like slapped her.
Yeah.
And she was feeling hurt and she was feeling
Alone,
lonely and she was
yeah.
feeling frustrated.
Yeah.
So she knew that the reason this girl took the knife for her was because of how bad she made her feel. So
Yeah.
they kind of both knew that they were at fault
Yeah.
here and tried to remedy it as
But
best
how
as they
hilarious
could.
was it, like them just running on the beach, three of them? Like that was so like unrealistic. Like, ain't no way I'm just
First
you
of
know
all,
you know what I
that is not happening. It was giving throuple, and I'm like, this
Yeah.
is not cute at all.
That would have been cute if okay, now she's dating her
That's
brother
rubbing
now.
it in Junghee's
Yeah.
face.
That's what I mean.
What are we doing
And Junkie,
here?
you're just so open with that.
She's like, I forgot it. I don't care. I
would've-
loved you.
No,
You
it would
can
have been
now.
it would have made more sense if she got with her brother and all four of them were on the beach.
I think that,
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like
yes.
that would have
The-
been
the
cute.
three of them, like
Yeah.
I said, the throuple was
Yeah.
throwing me off.
That was weird.
I felt like it would have been, because it was like a nice little montage to
Yeah.
kind of like end everything. Why couldn't we just see scenes of Jung-hee traveling the world as Miss Korea and how her
Exactly.
life progressed, spending time with Young Shik. right? We did not meet them to
Be-
be
and that was
lovey-dovey.
hilarious. Like how you go from the girlfriend to the third wheel. That's just insane if you
I
think
know.
about it.
I
Like,
just, I know. I was like,
and the fact that they were trying to make it cute was
I'm
like,
not running around
oh,
with you guys
yeah,
with the wind blowing in my hair
yeah,
on the beach, chasing one
yeah,
another,
exactly.
chasing. Because I was literally watching because I was so like
Yeah,
annoyed with this scene that when the girls are running, I'm like, who's he?
that's oh my god, that thought crossed my mind too. I'm like, who is he?
Who's he chasing after?
Yeah.
And when I saw him do a beeline for his actual girlfriend,
Girlfriend,
I was like, oh, thank God.
okay.
Like, it's weird. But then the other was like, oh, like,
Yeah.
like, did you think he was gonna
No.
he was gonna run after you
No,
and pick you up and
I-
swing you
I
around?
was rolling
Why
my-
were you ready? Why did you run?
That's what I mean.
Why did you
It's
run?
like, come get us. What do you mean,
like, oh
us?
my God, J-Pal, who are we gonna get? Tag. Like,
Really weird. I was rolling my eyes
that's
the
why I
whole
did not
time.
like that beach
I
scene.
was like,
I
let
was
me.
in confusion. I was like, this is not
I was
happening.
like, let me.
Because I'll be
fast
damned
forward
if my
this.
boyfriend
Yeah.
is going to chase after me and my best friend who he liked initially.
Dated.
Imagine if he makes a beeline for her and picks up Jung Hee and like flings her.
I
up.
mean, I feel like that could have happened and it would be okay. Like,
and,
like no
and
one
the
would.
other one's reaching out for her hand.
Yeah.
And she's holding her hand while he's swinging
Yeah.
your best.
It was that,
That's not
but it was that
happening.
weird though.
No, sorry,
Yeah.
that's not happening. It was very strange. Listen,
It was-
I overall,
overall,
as much as I was looking forward to it because of Kingdami,
yeah.
I was a little disappointed because a slice of life, I expect it to be so much more intense.
Yeah.
This one was very easy. It
It
was
was.
predictable. And you know, the villains weren't like horrific enough for me.
Yeah.
You know, like it was very mid all around, and I like slice of life to be like
Yeah.
8 to 10. You know, I want it to really get
hit.
me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, because when I first seen the synopsis, I was not expecting what we got.
I
I did not think it was gonna be a whole thruple love triangle type stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially even when the way it started, like I thought it was gonna be like, oh my god, these girls are so great friends, and I had no clue. And
I
um,
fully expected the love triangle. I just thought it would just stay with one person and somebody's just gonna be it would be unrequited. I didn't think he would
yeah,
flip flop
yeah,
between the girls, right?
yeah.
What would you give it?
Honestly, because I loved the supporting cast. They were amazing. I loved all those relationships. But like you said, it was getting weird a lot, and it was just a lot of things that weren't needed were added. Like, you know what I mean? So I would give it a 7.
You know what? I was gonna say 6. I'm gonna give it a 6 because the cast was so like underutilized. Like,
Yeah,
everyone was amazing.
They were.
They really didn't, you know, the story didn't. I don't know. Like they had so much potential.
there was something
and the
missing.
story just
Yeah.
wasn't enough for what these actors could really do.
Yes, and there was something missing, but I don't know what it is. Like, you know what I mean?
What
There
it
was
is,
something,
exactly.
yeah.
Like,
So they were just adding all these random things of just like even the part where it's like, oh, the dad running to the ex-wife's grave, and there's just such a lot of just
it is
nonsensical things.
And I know
like,
this was like a big part to
Yeah.
talk about like Jung Hee's like life and the fact that she
Yeah.
was so lonely that she lets this mentally unstable woman like adopt her, and now she lives in like this gilded cage,
yeah,
like, and it took for her to find her friend and her peoples to realize
yeah,
money isn't everything. Even though now she doesn't want for anything, she has zero freedom.
yeah.
Her life essentially sucks. She's very lonely, and this woman is crazy.
But I also understand what attracted Jung Hee to that. She literally had nobody
No,
at that
she
point.
needed a support
Literally-
system.
Yeah,
She did. She
yeah.
was working.
Yeah.
She was by herself. And here you have this woman who's rich and willing to
Yeah.
take care of you because she literally replaced her late daughter with her.
Off top, that was creepy as hell. That's
That
what I
was
mean.
super creepy.
Yeah,
Dropped her into that room that was made for, that kind of like froze in time of
yeah,
maybe like the age that her daughter died.
yeah.
And she just threw like Jung Hee into that room.
Yeah, because that room looked like for a 10-year-old or
It was
something.
very
Just pink and just
pony
juvenile.
and
Yeah.
I don't even know. But yeah, even that part, even though it had to show us how lonely Jung Hee was, really didn't do much for me. I'm like, girl, get out of this situation.
Yeah.
Run, man.
Because ain't no way someone that ain't my mama slapping me like that.
Literally.
First of all, and mind you, you're a grown ass woman.
I was
You're a
gonna say,
grown ass
I was
woman.
gonna
You're
say.
not even like you're 15 or something. You're an
not.
adult, and you're letting this random woman slap you up.
How does she not instinctively slap her right back?
Yeah. And secondly, even you calling her mom was creepy. I'm sorry.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Because she adopted you fully grown.
Exactly.
Fully grown.
So how are you?
weren't even a teenager.
How are you at like 25 calling this random woman
knew,
mom?
and she had to play the role.
Yeah.
She knew she had to play the role for her safety, to be, for financial security. She knew she had to play that role.
Yeah, I get
to
that.
the T, and you have to call her mom for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I give it a 6 because I just wanted so much more from it. But
yeah,
at least I enjoyed the actors.
I did. Yeah. I mean, they delivered of what they had. You know what I mean? They delivered. You know what I mean?
Did.
Yeah. So
it was a stellar cast, and they did the most with what was given to them.
Yeah.
I just wish the story was just
better.
a little bit more, engaging.
Like all the ingredients were there. It was just something was missing.
Yeah, it just didn't hit the way I really wanted it to hit. But it was interesting. It's easy and it's predictable. But again, I wouldn't say I hated it. It was just, it was mid.
Yeah.
But we would love to know what you thought. I mean, I know we spent a lot of time going through our thoughts because I really didn't think we would have such opposing opinions on these girls and like their motives.
But
it
was
actions.
Interesting, clearly.
It was super interesting.
Yeah.
Lots of things to like dissect and talk about, but we would love to know what you think. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us this week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.